Oh, Buddy the dog. You out here playing? Sure. We need to mow the grass, don't we, Buddy the dog? That's okay. Well, we're going to work on something we haven't seen in a while, and we're going to get started right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, Ross the Oliver Man, that's Buddy the dog. He's got the sneezes. I've got the sneezes. I don't know. Not feeling too hot, but I guess that's what you get when the weather changes. You know, we have had the craziest weather this spring. I mean, an April that was dry and hot, and now we're back to cold and wet for May. I mean, I don't know. But what we're going to work on is way back here, because sure, why not park it as far away from where we are as possible? And I think that it would be easier to work on if we just drive it up here, you know. I'm also looking at the hay situation. I think they still got enough. Well, don't worry, it's not another G video. I know people are probably getting sick of that. It's not this. I wanted to do that today, but didn't get that done. I better take this bucket though, because we might need it. We really also could probably use a piece of rope or something. Well, way back here in limbo, we need to work on we need to work on some roof too. Take a number. What we're working on here though is this, 700 white. It's been sitting back here patiently waiting. I also have a very high suspicion that it's probably full of flying creatures, because there's a lot of places for them to build a happy nest inside of this jobby, this cab. So I'm going to connect the battery cable and see if we can get it to start. Maybe not though. Has it got a flat tire? It has a flat tire. Why does it have a flat tire? We haven't done anything that would make it have a flat tire. That sucks. Perhaps there's enough air in it that we can get it back here to the air compressor. We'll move the 550. I brought the bucket to stand on because it's almost impossible for me to get inside this cab. I'm just too, since we don't have steps, there is no floorboard structure on this whatsoever anymore. It is pretty bad. So that's another thing we need to address, but I don't know if that'll happen now or not. Let's use this. This is going to be my bucket step puller upper here in a minute. But what we're going to do, or what I envision that we're going to do, because the videos never go the way I start out, is we are going to put a new seat in it. I bought a new seat, and yeah, see, this ain't nothing. This is like a collection of things, and it's, no, we're not having that. So I don't know how difficult this is going to be, but we're going to try. But I didn't realize that now we have to also, you know, put in or air up a flat tire. So see, another issue that we got here with this little feller is, well, I totally lost my train of thought there, where I was going. But we have, I know what it was. We haven't messed with the brakes at all. And this thing's got like hydraulic-ish brakes. So pretty soon, friends, we're gonna have to address the stuff that doesn't work if we want to use this for something. I should go get that little air inflator, but I'm stubborn. I want to just I want to just back it up a few feet and see what we got. Oh. Okay. Let's see if it starts. It should. We spent a lot of time and money on it. Look at that. Beautiful. Charging the battery even. What a sweetheart. Alright. I knew the other day when I parked this here, I thought, will this be in the way? Surely not. But guess what? It is. Fires right up, huh? Whoa there. One of these days we're going to have loader day, where we just go around rebuilding all of our loader cylinders. Because I think about every tractor with a loader has a leak somewhere. Don't remember how this works. I think that front tire's got just enough air that it's not gonna self-destruct on us. Let's just leave it sit here. We can work on it here. We'll pull forward a little. Make sure we're not on the air hose. Shut that off. What a sweetheart. I mean, just been sitting and it fires right up. Now we gotta try to get this to the ground without tipping it over, because I'm telling you what, friends, this is a long way down for a fat man. Oh, this seat is driving me crazy. Don't fall. Okay, well, she is a rough horse, friends, from about there back. It really needs a totally new floor pan, but I don't know where you're going to find a parted out Fiat 780 in the good old US of A. So, probably not going to happen. I bet that was the PTO shield. Do you think so? It used to just be like over. We might be able to repair that, I don't know. Okay. But yeah, we look at all this. We got stuff hanging. We got our parts laying still from winter time when we worked on it. We need to pack all that up and hit the road with that, like these cables. One was our fuel shutoff cable, one was our key retainer. So the question is, how do we think that seat's attached? Well, one would think that there's bolts to the plate. I mean, I'm sure it's not just those two bolts. There's bolts that actually would be holding this down. Wouldn't you know that's the one part of the floor where the rubber is still there? I don't know, friends. Plus the fuel tank's there. So this might end up being more of a challenge than what I thought. How would we go about this? Well, probably look at the parts book. Maybe we'll unbolt that from the slider. Maybe that's what we gotta do. And then we can see what's what. So since we're gonna work down here now, I guess what I'll do is take the battery cable immediately back off. I never have got my cutoff put on this one yet, and I need to, because side curtains, pretty inconvenient for disconnecting battery all the time. But let me go get the truck. I'll load up the seat. It's up at the house. That's where the mail person delivered it. We'll bring it down here and then we'll see. I think there is some assembly required on the new seat, so we'll have to do that and then go from there. But we got to do something, because this is not rideable like it is. You're gonna say, oh, what's the big deal, no problem. No, if you were in it, you would know what I mean. That it's just, for whatever reason, it's not rideable. I can't do it, and that cushion makes it even worse. So we gotta do something here. It's probably going to be kind of that way anyway. Boy, that's a nice feature I wish I knew had existed all this time. It tilts up. Well, let's see what the other seat looks like, and then we'll make our decisions. I bought a seat that looks like this, but I don't know if it really is like this. And, you know, maybe we need to just, I don't know. We need to go see what that one looks like. So let me go get it. Let's take a look at this old Jungle Store special. This was only like 85 bucks. So you can imagine that it's going to be excellent quality. It looks very similar. It does not fold like the other one does. Oh, you go this way. Okay. Now, the important thing about it, though, is that I'm going to have to pivot it through these holes to get the angle to the floor right, because the floor is not 90 degrees to the seat. It's on an incline. So we'll have to decide if that is really for us. Now, alternatively, another thing we could look at is, can we just bolt this cushion to what's there and not fool with the changing? I do kind of want to investigate that, because the reason I say that is I don't have a problem with paying 85 bucks for a seat cushion. I mean, that seems fair. And if I could bolt that in, like, look at that. Look at that. It fits right in there, friends. Two of the bolts line up perfectly. I wonder if I took the back off, if the new back would go on it, because I would love to have the original assembly, because the advantage is then I don't have to screw with trying to get the other one mounted to the floor. And also, let's put this 3-point down so we can work through that window. The other thing is, we got that handy tilt feature, and I don't think that looks bad at all myself, friends. Is that going down? I hope so. Although it would be nice, like I'm saying, to have also, let's put that straight up and down so we impale ourselves on it. Okay, we can take this out. It's just wedged in here. It looks like it mounts with 4 bolts wide. That's going to be a problem. I'm not done yet. I'm not done going down this rabbit hole of sadness. Gotta do something about this cab too. This is ridiculous with all this busted glass. Come on off there. Come on off of there. So, in order to do what I want to do here, if we pursue this, we're going to probably have to make us a plate, an adapter plate, to go from factory seat frame to aftermarket top cushion. But to me, the seat suspension is fine. That's not what the beef was. The beef was the geometry of the height of the way you sit in here. You have to have a thin cushion. You have to have just enough, but not too much. If you don't have any, it feels really weird the way you're in here. But if you have too much, you're into the steering wheel. And like I said, I looked into just cushions. I don't know what brand seat that is, but it's very much copied all over the earth. I mean, so that's what I did. I just ordered one that looked like it. And we accomplished what we set out for then, but I think we're going this route. I think we're going the route of using the new cushions on the original frame, and then we just set this aside for a rainy day project sometime, aka we never do anything with it and it sits in the trash. But the quality of the other seat suspension is a little bit better, I think. But I don't know. See, this is more universal. It's meant to fit anything and everything. But $85 for a pair of seat cushions, I don't think you can hardly beat that. Anyway, you know, like if I buy seat cushions for the 4-digit Olivers, I'm spending $300-400 for just cushions. So I'm on board with just having this left over and using new cushions. So let's get that top pulled off of there, and then we'll decide if that's really truly what we want. See, the goal is, even if this isn't finished, the goal would be, let's make it where it's usable. And right now it's really not usable because you can't ride it, you can't get in it, no step. The hydraulic couplers are garbage, so that's another thing that needs immediate attention. So yeah, I would presume that these are 13 millimeter, so that's the same as a 1/2 inch. Oh, come on, tools, participate. Nothing more frustrating than looking like it's your first day using tools. Of course, I should have known that part of why they did this was to hold it up. So if a guy had a knife in his pocket, he could just slit that right off of there. But he doesn't. Let's go get one. What you're gonna want to do is get the rustiest, dullest knife that you own, and then that's what you're gonna use. But it did the job. It did the job. Okay. Let's get that other cushion and just do a a test look. It's not going to match up because we got to do some magic there. See if we see how none of the bolt holes are in the right place. So what we'll have to do is try to decide how we want to do that. We would ideally like it as tight to the back of here as possible instead of like out there. So we're gonna have to custom fab some bracketry in order to make that happen. I guess I could pull all the cushion off of this back plate, drill some new holes and go that route, but I really don't want to do that. I think that if we just let's just hang this on here for a minute to get the feel of it. Let's go around and look at it. I mean, that looks like it's going to do the thing, friends. It'll be mounted up about there. It might be a little bit forward. But doesn't that look snazzier than what we had? I mean, this in my mind is the best way to retain the originality without causing ourselves undue grief. Is it perfect? No. I mean, this is laying inside of another thing, but I think we're going to have us something if we do that. We just got to drill holes in the pan to make it go. We might have to get longer bolts to reach through to do what we want. But the bottom part's no problem. That'll be simple. This part here is going to take a little doing. I mean, I guess there's the possibility that is this the same shape that a guy could peel the backing and foam off of that one and put it on this? I don't think I would risk that or even try it. I mean, that just seems like a lot of work for nothing. I think what I'm going to do is just cut me some strips of some type of steel. I'll need to go get some because I don't have any. And I'll just bolt me a plate across. The thing is, it's going to have to be pretty wide to do what we want to do, because it's got to, like the bottom row, I could use like an inch wide piece and it would go from here to there and it would capture the bottom two bolts, no problem. The top one though, you see the originals were up here and then the other ones are down here. So we're off by quite a bit. So the question would be, would I be better off to just bolt a piece across this whole thing and then heat and beat or whatever I have to do to conform it in here a little bit, you know? That's what I'm working on. That's what I'm... What I'm trying to explain, and I can't, is do I want to use two pieces or do I want to use one wide piece, bolt across there and be done with it? But it's not just a bolted across there and whatever, because then the thing will be sticking out like this, and I don't want that. I want it to be tucked in as much as possible, which means I will have to custom fab it a little bit. I mean, I guess if it's out here, who cares? I mean, that's close. Will I notice that extra half an inch or quarter inch that it is? I don't know. Interesting, friends. If you would have asked me if I thought this is the way this is going to go, I would not have. Hey, there's the tag. That is a Grammar seat. Made in Germany, West Germany. I wonder now that Ross has done all this, and I wonder if I look up, I wonder if I mean, if I wasted money and bought a whole seat, whatever, but if I could find actual cushions for a Grammer seat, maybe I could just make this go. See, look how nice it picks up out of the way, though. We want to try to retain as much of that as possible. They did not make this seat replaceable. I mean, look at it. It takes, if you want to replace it, you have to have the whole, these arms are welded to the bottom. I guess this roller piece could stay, but I guess they weren't thinking you would ever replace the cushions. I guess they were thinking you'd just live life. Well, now, why won't you hang there? Well, I'm gonna do some research and we'll figure it out. But just looking it over right now, I'm of the mind that we're just gonna adapt and make these cushions fit this seat assembly, because I don't see the need. Well, first of all, I am never going to slide it down any farther than it is, because I'm too tall. It is always going to be up all the way. Secondly, I like the fold up feature that this has that I did not realize it had until today, whereas this one here does not have that thing. I mean, it is what it is. There's no fold up ability on that. So yeah, I'll hunt up some metal, I guess. I will look though first and see if I can find actual direct fit Grammer cushions. I wish I could see the numbers. Oh boy, I don't think I can. I wonder if I take the phone and stick it down in there, if the camera would focus. Oh, it might. A DS 4412H. Product number 107887. Huh. Well, more research is to be done, and I will bring you back. Okay, friends, sadly, I don't have enough metal here. I thought that I did, but it's got a cutout of it. So I need to get something this thickness, and then about the full width of that. So I'll have to go tomorrow. So that's gonna shut down our seat building for today. But I did look on the old internet machine, and what I have is a Grammer 44/2H seat. And what I bought from the Jungle Store was a Grammer style seat. In other words, that's internet speak for Chinesium knockoff. But it is going to do what we want if we just adapt. And this is by far going to be the easiest and cost-friendly way to go, because I did some looking. I could get this cushion, just the foam, like I would have to take the foam and the trim and put it on this metal pan, for $154. Or I could get the complete ready to bolt on, like metal with these two things welded on, and then take those two bolts, 1/2-inch bolts out back there, bolt on. That was $378. I'm not doing that. This looks just like what it's supposed to be, so we're just going to adapt and live our happy life, and that's the way it's going to go. So it's a shame you can't just call and order what it's supposed to have, but based on what I look up on the internet, all of the 2H varieties of seats don't have this style seat back with the arms. They have more of a square, like the full width of this, like in a big square. So I don't know if White had to make this specifically, like they wanted it with armrests or what, but that just makes another piece of our puzzle that's kind of difficult. But like I said, tomorrow I'll get more steel and we'll get this figured out, because I don't have a problem with just using the cushions. That's going to be great, and then it should put me at about the right height where it doesn't feel like terrible things are happening when you're driving it. It's still pretty cramped for me because I'm so big, tall. A short person would be right at home in there. But yeah, then we're gonna have to address, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna junk this cab? Are we gonna keep this cab? I kind of hate to junk it just because this is only made for this tractor. Like, you will never find this cab in another, or this version. I don't know, but it's so bad shape. The problem is because the cab is not self-supporting. It used the fenders to bear most of the weight, and the fenders I got are just about toast. I mean, they are crumbling from the weight. And again, I cannot find any replacement anythings. Like, you just don't see parts tractors of these. So what I'm going to have to do is spend a lot of time cutting out sections of metal and welding in new sections of metal and trying to recreate what is no longer here, because this won't even hold the tail lights. Like, it's supposed to have full width tail lights. And that ain't happening anymore, so we're gonna have to do something. But it just makes you wonder, is it worth it to fool with this cab? Because I'm gonna have $1,000 in glass, I bet you. By the time we're done, every piece of glass is busted except for that one. And what really ticks me off about that is, like I said, I looked on the internet. This tractor sold like 4 or 5 times in 1 year. In the first photo, the glass is fine. Somebody has beat it up along life's way, and that's stupid. I mean, if I could have bought it the first auction, it would have had intact glass. So that's crap. But I'm just debating on what to do, what to fix versus what to replace. Like, for instance, I can get this piece, I think, reproduction. It kind of seems like that might be the way to go, except it's super expensive. But this one's rotted out all the way around the bottom. So I don't know. I'm gonna think on that. We got to do something with getting in. And I did find back my little step I bought. I bought this step here the other day. And so the problem is there's no structure left to mount it to. So I'm trying to debate on how I want to do this. I don't really want it close to the tire. But do I make a couple brackets that go all the way back in there to the frame? Let's just take this old seat and sit on the ground and see if we can decide what we want to do. So there is a thing with a nice hole. That's actually the mount for the cab. So if I would go straight off of that with a long flat piece, I don't know if that's what we want. I don't want a lot of stuff close to the wheel, you know. But if I bolted that on there, I guess that would put it out like about there. Or I could go back a little. It doesn't have to be out, I suppose. And then that would take care of one bolt. Then would I go to, is this corked off? That is. So I could go to either one of those. It would actually be this one, so that's got a bolt in it, no problem. I might have to get a longer bolt, because that's kind of part of the, it's not part of the frame. It's like this decorative rail that they use to hold the sheet metal. So this piece really is not structural in any way, shape, or form. But I think if I would tie onto that with something, but I mean, is that going to be enough support? That's the thing. Is it going to be enough support? I could go I could take it and bend a 90-degree bracket to catch both of these bolt holes and then live life. And I could also run a brace, I guess, straight up from that to something here, but there's nothing here. There's no more, there's nothing there yet, friends. That's another multiple days work. Jack this cab up and then put a plate under there and try to get it to sit where it needs to be again, because this is a disaster. I mean, the cab is here, the fender was here, and there should be a piece of floor in between this and this, because this is the mount. That's gone, so your cab actually would have been underneath here. There's none left here. And then it used like pipe steps, which is just comes out of here, made a loop and went back up. So I don't know, we got to have something, so we're gonna figure that out somehow. There is no more bolt holes anywhere under there, so I just don't know what would keep the thing from going, like when you step on it going downhill. I guess a guy could use angle iron, but then it would have a stick out piece, but angle iron would be less prone to bending over the long run. And then I could always somehow attach it up farther to help hold it or something. And if I design something and like the way I do it, then I'll try to find another one of these and put it on the other side. But I gotta have a step, because I'm about to die getting on and off of this thing. I just can't make the leap from the ground up to here. And it seems like getting out is worse than getting in. So that's gonna be another thing I think we're going to, when I get the piece of steel tomorrow, I'm gonna try to make this all happen at once. Because I don't know. I don't know what else I could do. I guess if I hung it, I'm thinking out loud now, and this is boring for you when I'm sitting here pondering, but I could stare at something like this for an hour just thinking about what I want to do and how to make it what I want. But if I just bolted a piece of angle iron on here and hung it down, and then I run my other piece out here, that would give it a shelf that I could weld it to run it out. I don't know. I just don't know. But we'll figure that out. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll mock it up. Like I'll get one part of it, like that part mounted on part way, and then work out and figure out how to make this do what I want it to do. But I would rather it be anchored to the frame of the tractor than this cab or any of this, because there's nothing left, you know. And I don't want it to be part of the cab, because if I chuck the cab, then I got to start all over. And I'd rather have it be part of the actual machine. So that's what I'm thinking there. But hey, where are you going to find another 700 utility special? Not very many places, friends. Not very many. So yet again, this is another tractor that's slowly but surely coming along, a little at a time. That's how we roll. You buy them when they're available, and then you make them better over time. You don't have to break the bank doing that all at once. You can take your time and gather parts, and then finally, one day, you'll have something. I was just realizing in the camera, this is kind of a neat shot. There are 3 Fiats in this picture, if you can see that. But yeah, 2 of them are kind of, well, actually all 3 of them are something you don't see everywhere. So that's kind of cool. But anyway, I will bring you back whenever I get steel for the seat and maybe steel for the steps, and we'll just plug on and get this where we can ride this horse. Because if we can get in and out of it, then it's usable. You know, right now it's not really usable. And then I still need to figure out how I want to do battery cutoff, because that's also super unhandy. I really don't want to drill into anything that you see here. I don't like that idea. I mean, I guess if I had to, I could potentially stand to drill into this piece somewhere and put the battery cutoff there. That would be super the way to go, probably. This is the battery cable we've been taking off. That's actually the hot cable, but I guess the ground cable's going that way too. So, you know, instead of having that long, where did we go with that ground cable? Where did they go with it? They went like under the motor there somewhere. No, to the side of the block. I'm a fan of battery cables not crossing, like the ground and the hot. So we may move her over here somewhere and take it away this way. I don't know exactly how we would do that. I mean, the ground cable, if it rubs a hole in it, is not as big a deal as something else, but I hate for it to be cobbled up, you see. I would like it as short as possible. This side, there's not really any place to bolt to the side of the block, is there? Maybe down there. But that would defeat my purpose. So maybe we will just cross. That's not right at all. We're gonna lose it. This is not working. Why is this not working? It's not working. There we go. What I'm getting at though is I think I'd like the battery cutoff over here on this side, because then it would be just like my all the other Fiats that I have. The battery, I put the battery cutoff on the side that you get on, the left side. So we'll work on that. We'll see what we want to do. I don't know what we want to do. I never do. There's a lot of, I spend a lot of time overthinking things, you know. Some people would just start cutting and drilling holes, and I don't like to do that. So, but I am going to put it over here somewhere, but I really don't want to go through like this, because if I do buy the new one, that would hurt my feelings to spend $700 on a piece of metal and then drill a hole in it. I'd rather drill it through this side plate, which I think it would be just as out of the way. I don't think that would hurt a thing at all. I could put it as far up as about right there. There's something else, so it would have to be like right in here, which that's right above your axle. I guess that wouldn't be ideal, but the axle will never interfere with that. I mean, so what do you do? Do you do that thing or do you not do that thing? I mean, I could put it back farther. I could actually put it back here, but we'll think on that. I'll put it back there, and then I could wrap that other ground cable underneath and not have to make a new one. I could just reuse it. Or I could do that all on this side where it all is already. Don't know, friends. I'll think on it, and I'll bring you back when stuff happens, you know. Also cleaning and floor repair and everything else, but for now, that's where the plan is headed. Do you suffer from low intelligence and are easily entertained? Well, then hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment. And that way we can keep making entertainment that your feeble minds can understand. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.